Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are here at the Classy Cat Tiny. So I just finished staining the upper side of the door, the sides, and the top. I'm pretty sure the top is fine, but I'll be staining the bottom and top again once I get the door laid down to make sure that those are good. So for right now, the door is pretty much done. I'm waiting for the stain to dry though. And I stained the remaining trim pieces. They're on the floor right here drying. So from what I read on the can, it takes about an hour for those to dry. So in the meantime, I'm going to try and tackle re-nailing the trim pieces in place. I hope the nails that I left in there work, because I did have to hammer them back through the wood, and they're probably a little blunt. I'm not sure, but hopefully they work out, because I will try to nail them back in place. I will lift them up so that I can just trim from the bottom and whatnot, and that'll be fine. But the boards will be even with the top. That way I can put the top plate in without any problems, and the trim will be in place. And I'll also be trying to probably knock the door, the doorway into a certain frame so that it fits the door. So I might actually hold off on nailing the top plate in if it's not the correct width. So that's something. But I think that's all I'll have time for today. I'm planning on hanging the door tomorrow because I don't have time to do that today. And I don't think I'll have time to do that today anyways. And I'll need to borrow a hole drill bit so that I can drill the door handle into the door tomorrow as well. So that'll be the finishing touches on the door finally. I will probably put the hinges on the door as well, since I do have the drill bits for that. And I think it'll make it easier to hang the door when I go to like put it in place, so I don't have to hold the door and drill it at the same time. So yeah, it is cold in the tiny house today, so I got a little bit of chill in my fingers. And when you're working with stain, even if you're wearing gloves, the stain makes the gloves colder. So like, my hands are cold right now. But I'm very excited to be almost done with this door project. So I think that's enough yapping. Let's get to it. Careful not to step on the what's it called? Trim pieces over there. So I'm probably gonna put, not probably, I'm gonna put some blocks in between here just to try and hold that distance so that it doesn't shift too much out of place. So that'll work there. I can't really do anything about the top, so I'll just try my best to knock the top back to where it's supposed to be. All right. And I feel like doing it like that, where it makes a little more sense than trying to nail it trying to nail it in from the bottom. Well, not bottom, from the top. So if I can get it to pretty much sit like this, then I can do the trim at the bottom, because there's a few inches of trim that I'm going to need to add to the bottom. hit it with a little more stain so it really matches the other one, because I want it pretty much, I want to say pretty much black, but like not paint. Like I still want to be able to see the wood grain. So that's how I stained everything. So one trim piece is in, which is great. I'm going to hit this again with some stain, and then I will test fit this little piece right here to see if it fits between these two still, or if I need to cut a new piece. And I hope I don't have to. It might not be that big of a difference. So I hope it won't be that big of a difference. But this will pretty much be the trim for the door when it's finished anyways. And then once the walls are actually in, I'll probably put like pretty trim around the edges and whatnot. But for now, this is the inside trim. It's not going to change. All right. Yeah. Let me get. I don't think I needed to stain this piece again either. Nope, it's just this one. So I'm going to touch this one up. I'm going to check the upper trim pieces to see if I need to touch them up. And we will wait until all of that is dry to pretty much put everything in place and test fit things. So I'm probably not going to test fit the door until I go to hang it again. And once I go to actually hang the door, I will nail, screw, or whatever these pieces in. And I'll probably like drill in at the sides up to make some makeshift pockets so that I can drill them in at the tops. And probably at the bottoms as well. I'm not sure. Or I'll just get some extra blocking that I'll cut to size and block the bottoms and screw it in there and whatnot. So on and so forth, so that I can make this sturdy, set in place. In that way, every time I open my door, it's not moving the wall, basically. So yeah. I'm very happy with how these look though, so I will see you guys in a bit. Alright, so while I play the waiting game for everything to dry, the door is dry enough to start gluing stuff back in place. Or not back in place, but gluing stuff in place permanently. And luckily enough for me, I bought some liquid nails just in case, but my liquid nails from last time, and I do mean like weeks ago, is still okay. So I'm going to use what's left of this, and hopefully it works. I'm going to check it one more time, but it came out, so it's not totally cemented in there. Okay. It'll dry quick though, so I gotta be careful. I'm gonna try not to glue too heavily because I don't need a heavy bead of glue underneath these pieces. I just need enough for them to technically stick. Without the glue showing underneath. And then once they're up with the glue, I will nail them into place to the best of my ability. So for the trim pieces, I have these 1/2 inch finish nails that I'm going to tack into place, or use to tack them into place. And I think was going to take all the tape off, then I remembered that I still need to be able to tell which side goes where, sort of. So other than having the handle side here, I got to know where the hinges go, and I got to know which side is facing what. So I'm going to leave at least the tape in the middle of the door for now, because this is the bathroom side. So this side is going to face the bathroom, and the opposite side is going to face the kitchen. So I'm going to flip the door around, check this side for anything, and go from there. And anywhere I need to do a little bit of touch up, I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll bring you guys back for that. Alrighty, so after a little bit of waiting, I touched up that one piece of trim. I decided to just put it up there rather than waiting for it to completely dry. So it's pretty much dry to the touch, which is fine. But all of the trim pieces are in. There is a little gap in the framing up there, but I'm not too worried about that because I have that extra piece back there that I can use to kind of try and fill it in later. I need to get this side nailed in, but I need to make sure that it fits well with the door and the doorknob and all that stuff. So that side is not nailed in for right now. This side is, so it shouldn't move anymore when I nail it in. Well, not nail it. When I hammer against it, except for this base part, I'm still going to put a little bit of blocking in between here just to keep these from moving. And it's really going to be at the bottom because I don't really have to worry about the middle too much. So once I get this piece fitted in properly for the door, then I can start putting like the doorknob and everything on. So the trim pieces, I think I put too much stain on them, so some of them are still kind of wet. That's okay. I'm still going to go ahead and glue them onto the door now so that I don't have to worry about it because I'm not worried about them being wet on the door. The door is dry. I hope I don't have to nail them in because the finished nails, and this is the worry I had, the finished nails are slightly longer than the door is thick. So if you hammer it in the wrong way, they poke through the door. But luckily they're not noticeable and they shouldn't be too obstructive. So I'm going to lay my glue down. I'm going to put these gloves on. I'm going to put the rest of the trim on the door. And then the door itself will be done, save for putting the hinges on and the handle. And I think I will try to do the hinges before I leave. So I already have that done. I got to mark how long the little screws are and go from there. So one thing at a time. Let's go for this trim. And I'll show you guys the door reveal afterwards. Alrighty. So I just finished putting the trim on the door. And it actually looks really nice in my opinion. I'm probably going to have to come in and like clean this up a little bit because some of the glue did, the glue was acting funny when I got to this part. But I fixed it up down here so it's not that bad. So I'll see what I can do to kind of fix that up. I might just have to lightly, and I mean lightly sand it and then just touch it up and that'll be fine. But the door is technically done. I may have a little bit of time and I'm going to try to at least drill out the holes or mark the holes for the hinges. So I'm going to do that real quick. These are the hinges for the door. I bought them a little while ago actually, and I think they're the smallest ones I could find that would hold up a door in my opinion. So I'm going to mark out the holes for the hinges on the side of the door, and then I think tomorrow perhaps I will be hanging the door. I just have to make sure that I hang it the correct way because since this side is facing the kitchen and the door opens this way, I have to make sure that the hinges open up that way or the correct way. And looking at it, I believe that this would be the correct way since they'll open up when it opens up, it'll move that way. So here's the wall, it'll move out that way. So I'm going to mark the hinge holes. I'm going to use, I'm going to mark my drill bit and everything so that I can figure out the correct size of the screws and whatnot and all of that fun jazz. And I will actually put the hinges on the door before I go. Yeah. And I did pre-mark them so that on the spots and out some little spots for the hinges just to be sure that it fits properly. And I wanted to make sure that the nails wouldn't be in the way. So test fitting the door, I don't think they'll be in the way, so it should be fine to just put the hinges on the door and then mark the hinge spots from there on the trim piece where the hinges are going to attach to, and then I'll be able to screw everything in where it's supposed to be after I route out the appropriate spots. And I don't know if I'm going to stain the hinge spots. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, so I'll see. But let me check all of this first. I think I have the right size on my drill already from when I was trying to drill out some spots earlier. So let's see. The accompanying screws. One of these is long, surprisingly. I'm not sure why it would be that long. I don't think I need them that long, but I might put the one in the middle that long just to make sure the hinges are okay on the door. So let's see how this goes. I've never put hinges in a door, but I knew I wanted to drill it out because if I was worried that if I screwed right into the door, since this is technically not a solid wooden piece, that it would mess up the door. So let me get my pencil, mark that real quick. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit to be 100% sure for the screws. Also, I still need to stain the bottom of the door, so I might do that once I get it hung, and I won't have to worry about that afterwards. You'll be right in the middle, because it's not in the way of any nails, so it should be fine. I'll get the bottom in a second. No, let me do it now. Let me do it now before I screw around or forget. I'm going to bring you up a little bit. Okay. All right. Woo. Let me just start in the middle because I already have it marked. So one of these long screws is not going to happen because I know there's a nail right here. So let me finish drilling out the rest of these spots, and then I will put the hinges on it. Let me get my trusty box, milk crate, stool, whatever. One of these days this thing's going to give out on me. Hoping it's not today. I'm very happy that the door has a side crack. Because I was actually very scared that drilling into the door was going to cause the wood I layered together to peel up or crack or something. So I'm glad I glued it down. And I'm glad that this is taking so well. All right, one more at the bottom. All right. Now, to screw on some screws. Well, hinges. Alrighty. Now, I'm surprised. Well, not surprised. I know why it has 6 screws for both sides. So, where did I put the actual hinge? There. All right. And like I said, it's going to open this way. Ooh. Right. I hope I didn't just screw these way too loose. Ooh, I may have made these too deep. Yeah, I definitely made these too deep. No. It'll be fine. I have an idea. So, hoping I didn't do the same mistake on the middle. Huh. I think the bottom one's the only one that's actually in. That's insane. So, if the bottom one's in, that's great. I'll just fix up the top one with a long screw. Yay! First hinge is on. I'm very happy about that. And I do not regret drilling into the door now. I still kind of regret drilling into the door, but at least side. And if I really need the screws, I'll just buy some. It's not that big of a deal. As long as I didn't do all of them shallow, it'll be alright. This one, maybe it's easy to open. Yeah. Alright. Next hinge. And I will leave all the screws in one spot so I don't lose them. Well, in the same bag maybe. Maybe I'll put them in my makeshift toolbox. Okay. I didn't take the tape off. So the RB has to be obvious when I open them. I'm going to do the one on the top. Just because I don't feel like getting as low down on the floor as I am right now. Okay. Here's to hoping that I didn't do these as shallow. Great. Alright. So like I said, here's to hoping I didn't do these as shallow. Not shallow, as deep as the other ones. Hoping for shallowness. Oh, gravy. So I think next time I decide to do this, I will actually go out of my way to make sure that the holes I pre-drill will be small. The good news is, with that middle one, I can replace it with a long one. Fairly easy. I don't want any of these to be, they'll just barely graze that nail. If I angle it. Neat. That's 2 hinges. Yep, 2 hinges. last one before I go, but if you guys can't tell, it is getting dark because it is 4:36 and sunset is in about an hour or less than an hour, really. So I'm very happy with the door. I'm excited to hang it tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be hanging it in place. I'll get it level with the top plate and trim. I do have to get that wall in order first, but I think once I get the door hanging where it's supposed to be, I don't really think I need to even worry about routing out the hinge spot. I think it'll be fine if I don't, because it does add just a little bit of, I'll probably route it out just in case, because it only adds a little bit to the door width, and after that, the door will be hanging, and I'll be able to do the door knob, and I think it'll look really nice. So, oh boy, I gotta sweep as well. There's so many wood shavings everywhere. All right, but one step closer to finally being finished with this door. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be doing a big update in January if this video doesn't end up being uploaded in January on my Patreon. And don't forget to check out my art channel. I'm currently working on a lot of really big commissions right now, so I'm going to be uploading a lot of speed paints along with my usual content, and eventually a tablet review. Still have yet to do a review of my new tablet that I got. But yeah, I think that's all I have for today. I'm going to clean up and pack up before it gets too dark in here. So until next time, see you guys.